Hello and welcome to the very first Hour of Devastation Draft League. This is Old Man Poole. I am excited to be here. I've been looking forward to Hour of Devastation for like a month now. I'm sure you all have as well. I have played exactly one pre-release before this Draft League, so I'm still pretty new, pretty raw in the format, but I'm hoping to learn a little bit more today, and hopefully you guys can too. Our rare Catcher's Last Mercy, I don't think is the first pickable card. It does gain you potentially a lot of life, like 15 is quite a bit, and if you're racing, that can be fantastic. But a lot of the time, you're either going to be ahead or behind, and a Catcher's Mercy is just not going to do enough for you. I think I'm going to take the Burning Fist Minotaur. I think that's the most powerful pick in this pack. I do like Torment of Venom. I like Unquenchable Thirst. But Burning Fist Minotaur seemed really good. Alright. Reason to Believe. Scry 3. Not bad for just one blue. I mean, you do use up a card with it, but you were fixing your next couple of draws. And we have Believe. Look at the top card of your library, you put it onto your battlefield. It's a creature card. Alright. So pretty good late game top deck, and I think not playing Reason early on. I think Scry 3 is probably worth the card, or at least, yeah, I think it is. I think that's fine. It's not maybe crazy exciting, but it's decent. We have Mrs. Defeat, which I think is one of the less good sideboard cards. We have Vizier of the Anointed, which is pretty good if you can get some Eternalize. We have Oketcher's Avenger. We could just say we're aggressive. I do think Oketcher's Avenger's one of the other really good 2-drops going along with Burning Fist Minotaur. I think that red-white is a little bit less supported than it was in Amonkhet, but it was really good in Amonkhet, so. And there's still one pack of that we'll see at the end as well. Yeah, I'm going to take the Oketcher's Avenger. I think Reason to Believe's fine. I like Feral Prowler a fair amount. There's some good stuff here. Again, I like Unquenchable Thirst, but let's be aggressive. Immediately punished. I don't even really know how to say this. River Hoopy? Hoopo? Hoopo? Something like that? Immediately punished. We would love that. Supreme Will is pretty good too. I built 2 decks at the pre-release and I kind of used them interchangeably throughout the day. Rampaging Hippo was kind of the linchpin of a green ramp deck that I had that seemed like it was actually pretty good. Hippo is a reasonable threat. Not wild about Disposal on me. Kinder Scrapper I think is fine, but not like nuts. So I guess the question is, do we want to take like Supreme Will or River Hoopy? Hoopo? I have to look up how you say that. And maybe swap directions a little bit, because I think those are the most powerful in the pack. Or if we just want to stay the course and pick up like Scrapper, which I think is playable, but not really all that exciting. I think I'm going to stay the course here, but we made it deciding that was not correct. No, I do like Puncturing Blow. Not wild about Dutiful Servants or Journey's Renunciation. I guess it's okay. We've got Aven here, which is alright as well. Jace's Defeat's a fine sideboard card. I think this is the second least powerful of the sideboard options, but this one's actually pretty good and playable. I don't know if you'll ever bring the Nissa one in. And then we've got Rumu Nap Ruins, which might be pretty good too. This does give us a little bit of reach and doesn't really cost us very much. But I think we just want the reasonable removal spell over it. Oh, I'm so excited to be playing this. Okay. We got Sheffet Dunes, which we could pick up here. I think that is one of the better deserts. Just being able to pump everything for +1/+1, even if your opponent can see it coming, is a pretty powerful effect. There's Godpharaoh's Gift, which I don't know exactly do. Game combat on your turn. Okay. Huh. It seems pretty good. I don't think it's really where we want to be, but that seems like a reasonable ramping threat. Probably on same sort of power level as Approach of the Second Sun. So we can take the Firebrand Archer and just make sure we have enough 2-drops, or the Sheffet Dunes. I think I'm just going to keep going on 2-drops here. I wouldn't be sad to pick up the Dunes if it came around, although I don't think that's super likely. Okay, another Catcher's Avenger I feel pretty good about here. That makes me think that the deck is probably open. I think this card is real good. A 3/1 that just doesn't die when you want it to attack is pretty good. 3/1s have always been okay in Limited, because if you play them early on, they can punch your opponent for a couple of times, and they're pretty good at trading on defense too. They're obviously bad against -1/-1 counters. There's a bunch of like miscellaneous damage in this set. Okay. I like Active Heroism. I think more than Sandblast in this sort of deck. I think Sandblast is okay. I think I'd rather have an Act. If we're just trying to get through for damage, Act is going to be a little bit better. This is good, better in a race. I guess it kind of works the same way because neither of them give trample. Maybe Sandblast is better then. I guess you once in a while get value from blocking an additional creature, but actually I think Sandblast might be a better pick. I changed my mind there. Okay. We do not have any creatures that are playable here, but I'll take a Desert of the Fervent. I think that's pretty okay. I think you're okay taking a couple of these cycling lands, even though they do come into tap and it maybe hurts the aggressive deck more than most decks. You can still get away with playing a couple and not being unhappy. Not a bad pickup for us there, even though it's not a creature, not a beatdown thing. Okay. We could take Dagger of the Worthy. I'm not actually sure how good this is. I don't like Granitic Titan very much at all. Well, I think it's actually a fine card, but in this deck I don't think it's the best. I think I'm gonna take the Dagger. We'll see how this goes. I actually haven't seen this in play. It's +2/+0 and Afflict 1. That means a lot of times your crappy creatures will trade up. I guess it's really pretty good on a Catcher's Avenger. Alright, Dagger of the Worthy. Let's see if we can get there. I think I'm generally lower on equipment than most people are in Limited, and I think most people aren't super high on it, but I think Unquenchable Thirst is better than this, for the record. Like, I think this is, like, maybe not a first pickable card, but in, like, first 5 picks. I guess we'll take that. There's this beautiful Full Art Swamp and a Foil Swamp, which are very tempting, but I guess we should take maybe something that is correct. I don't know, like, even if you don't own a desert, this is okay. And if you do own a desert, it's just great. This is like premium removal for 2. Okay, Desert of the True's fine, or Disposal Mummy. Don't think we were really going to be on the situational mummy plans. Maybe we'd rather have another 3 cost. I think I'm gonna take the desert. I don't really want to play more than 2 of these though, which is why I was considering the 3 there. I think having 2 is a good number for us, but if you have too many, I mean, there's diminishing returns. You don't want all your lands to come in tapped. I guess we're going hard here. We're going hard. None of that full art lands business, even though a single tear rolls down my cheek every time I pass one. I can maybe see playing a Dutiful Servants, but I don't think ever to. Torrent of Hailfire. Yeah, that card's pretty good. Not really something we can splash for, unfortunately, but and it's not like a bomb rare, but if you get up to like 5 or 6 or 7 mana, this is. It gets to the point where your opponent can't just lose life forever. They have to start losing cards and creatures, in addition to losing a fair amount of life. Okay, we have Active Heroism, Firebrand, Archer, Kenris Scrapper, Steadfast Sentinel, none of which are all that crazy, but Manticore Eternal, that's a pretty great card. I love Sifter Worm too. If we were in green, I think that's as good as Scale Behemoth is, and kind of in a different way, and maybe even better. But Manticore Eternal is not a bad pickup. It does cost 5, but I'm okay with that being a curve topper. Okay, we have Inferno Jet, Unconventional Tactics, which is absolutely sweet, but Unconventional Tactics really kind of requires zombies, which doesn't seem like that's where we're going. Dunes of the Dead's kind of interesting if you end up with some of the Sacrifice Desert effects. I'm not really sure how high I am on Inferno Jet. I think I'd rather have something like Manticore Eternal, although the Jet's probably not bad either. But I'd rather have it over something like Sandblast or Kenris Scrapper. Maybe I'll take it and see how we're going. We're doing okay on creatures right now. 6 damage is a lot of damage. Like, this definitely gets your opponent dead. It can be a great top deck endgame. I think I'm gonna take Inferno Jet. Imminent Doom. Oh yeah, that's unplayable. I was like, what does this card do again? And I was like, oh, tragedy. Another River Hoopoe. Hooperp. We're just gonna call him a Hoop Derp. There we go. I liked Sunset Pyramid at my pre-release. I'm not really sure it's what this sort of deck wants to be doing, but I think that did end up being powerful enough. I won 1 game that went late just because I had the Scry effect. That's really all that got me there. Let's take another Firebrand Archer. We are really weak to Blazing Volley, the deal 1 to everything, but guess that's something we're just going to have to deal with. Another Inferno Jet. Don't think I want more than one. Don't think. Take Defiant Kenra, it's just another 2-drop. These decks do want 2-drops, but it's kind of an exciting one. What do you think another Sandblast? I think I'd rather have the second Sandblast over another Inferno Jet and Kenra. I don't know, I have a tough time rocking how good this card will be. Like, if we have 2 of these in our opening hand and we have to cycle them away, it's really clunky and really slow. But these are just the best top deck my deck can probably have in the late game. This deck just doesn't want to cycle very much, I don't think. I think I'd rather have a Sandblast. Okay. I guess Thorn Moloch? Thorn Moloch is not my favorite, but it's okay. I don't think we're on the Traveler's Amulet plan. And I don't like another Dutiful Servants. Everything else is off color. I do like Kenra Eternal a fair amount. I like Spellweaver Eternal a fair amount. But yeah, I guess Thorn Moloch it is. Okay, we could take a Sunset Pyramid if we wanted now. I guess it's just a Defiant Kenra. I feel like we're getting a little bit cut going this direction. Or at least this pack hasn't been quite as impressive for us. Here's a Chandra's Defeat. I think I'll take that as a pretty good sideboard card. The only other thing I guess for us is Jiru's Renunciation, which I'm still not wild about. Sure. This is going to be outstanding when we can bring it in against another red player, so... And we're up there on playables, even if we're a little bit unexciting. I have to remember we're kind of at 15 because these are lands, but... Alright. Solitary Camel gets pretty reasonable with our deserts. Sure. Feels like this... Yeah, we're getting cut a little bit off red and white. We're seeing lots of reasonable, like, green, blue things come around, but... That having been said, I don't think it's been real bad. We've got... Like I said, we're currently at 16 playables. We got a pack 2, and we might even pick up a couple more here, so... Yeah, see there's like a Firebrand Archer. I'm not sure what to think about Saving Grace. I think it's better on defense than what we want to be doing. We are gonna get absolutely wrecked by someone bringing in Blazing Volley. And all of like incidental -1/-1 counters hurt us pretty bad too, but... You do what you gotta do, I guess. We have lots of 2-drops. I like having lots of 2-drops. Alright. Man. I think this card is so sweet. I really want to make it work, but it's just I don't think is the deck for it. We could take a Crash Through, which I think is kind of low impact, but is there. We could take a Dunes of the Dead and like speculate that maybe we'll get a Desert Payoff, although I guess probably not at this point. I guess I'll just take Crash Through. Cycles. Maybe it's something we want at some point. Alright. This is strictly unplayable, right? That's spelling. Yeah, it's just strictly unplayable. No respect. No respect. Yes, maybe I'll take this as... I don't know. Maybe someone will figure out how to break it in a extend format. I'll be able to sell it. But... I guess Graven Abomination is playable. It's not real exciting, but it's a worse version of Catcher's Avenger for 3. Yeah. Sure. No life goes on for some random opponent. Oh, sad. Didn't realize that was Ronus. Yep. Rip Ronus. I guess it kind of makes sense, like, in the Hour of Glory, the Scorpion God is holding him, so it's like a scorpion sting down to his head. Or Ronus. Or Ronus. Let's see. Seer Blast tomorrow, I guess. I think that's a card we're going to see at the end a lot. Ooh, that's a pretty island, though. Okay. We'd really like to see some, like, bomb level cards here. And actually, Magma Spray is pretty dang close to that. It's pretty good. Angler Drake, I think, is the nut in some decks. We might actually play Ronus's Monument here. Just give us a little bit of extra reach in the late game. But first pick Magma Spray every day, all day. Plus, it works with Imminent Doom. We play Imminent Doom. on turn 3. Play nothing until then play Magma Spray, and then play Archer, and man, like we're just losing it then. What can my opponent do against that start? The turn 5 Firebrand Archer, too strong. Ooh, okay. Heart Piercer Manticore is a pretty great one. I don't really think there's anything else here that competes. Thresher Lizard and Pathmaker Initiator are both fine, but yeah, getting past Heart Piercer Manticore is what we're hoping for in these packs. So hooked up a little bit there. Take this Dutiful Servants out. I'll be sad if we have to play that. I'd probably rather play like a Graven Abomination than Dutiful Servants. And that way we're even weaker to Blazing Volley. Alright. We have, not a fantastic follow-up. I don't mind Grasping Dunes, although I think we're going to try and play 16 lands in this, and a couple more already come in. I guess this doesn't come into play tapped. It just sacks later. Actually, that might be okay. We don't really have the support for Innoketra's Name. Don't love Flameblade Adept. You could just take an Initiate. I guess Initiate gets through a lot of our 2-drops later on. Really good with the Burning Fist Minotaur. I don't like Ceradon very much. Yeah, I guess we're just taking an Initiate. Alright. Blood Rage Brawler's pretty good. I do like Electrify too, although I think Puncturing Blow does a lot of the same stuff. Electrify is instant speed, which is relevant, but yeah, Blood Rage Brawler is a pretty big beater. Okay, Impeccable Timing. You could take the Ronus's Monument here. I think this deck card can be good in these decks. Just when my opponent has stalled out, let's just start throwing big things in. Kind of performs the same task as Dagger of the Worthy, honestly, but I think Ronus's Monument might be the pick. There's also, like I said, Impeccable Timing. We have a couple Sandblasts that do sort of the same thing. Don't love Tormenting Voice, although it's okay. Winged Shepherd is also okay. Maybe I take the Ronus's Monument here. That maybe should have been Impeccable Timing. I can kind of see that either way. Ooh, another Blood Rage Brawler. Yeah, I will take another one. How many 2-drops is too many 2-drops? I guess we can maybe take out like the Defiant Kenra. Firebrand Archers have like random upside. The Sandblasts, Ronus Monuments, it's just non-creature, right? Yeah. Okay. I like Battlefield Scavenger Fairmount. Fling I think gets worse when we have Heart Piercer Manticore, and I don't think it's that great to begin with, so we actually we have the Catcher's Adventures. I was like, is this our only Exert card? We only have, I guess Kenner Scrapper is as well. We don't have very many, but on its own I think it's still pretty good. It fixes draws a lot of the time. Another cheap creature. You could take a Forsake the Worldly for the sideboard, or Innoketra's Name for just the +1/+1 effect. I think Ronus's Monument, Dagger of the Worthy are going to mean that Innoketra's Name is less good, especially because we still don't have really any zombies to speak of. I think we'll take the Forsake the Worldly here. Once in a while, you'll sideboard that in against like the Sandworm Convergence deck and make them sad. Is there any way we'd want 2 Ronus's Monuments? I don't think so. Anything else here we'd play? I don't think so. I guess we'll take another one. The fact this wheel makes me a little bit sad because we probably could have gotten Impeccable Timing as well, and I think that pick was actually close before, but Binding Mummy, I guess. I don't think it's something we want to play. There's very little synergy we have with it in the deck. I think our other 2-drops are better. It's something we'd consider sideboarding in if my opponent does have Blazing Volley or something that really screws over 1/1s. We can bring in that and Defiant Kenner and make us a little bit less weak to that. So Grasping Dunes or Nimbleblade Kenra. I don't think we need to play a Kenra, realistically. I'm gonna take a Grasping Dunes. So I guess Cradle as well. I don't think we're actually gonna play the Desert of the True or the Desert of the Fervent, or maybe just one of them. Nothing here is exciting. Feasible, I'm sure. Because I think we're gonna try and play 16 lands here and just go pretty aggressive. Our curve tops out. I don't know, we have a lot of cheap spells. We do have Manticore Eternal at 5, we have Infernal Jet at 6, but other than that, we're pretty low to the ground here. Although we're actually, guys, we're a little bit low on playables if we want to do that, aren't we? So we could play like Crash Through for random value in the cycling. Play Defiant Canter or Binding Mummy. Just another 2-drop, I guess. I think I want lots of creatures for Ronus's Monument. Don't think there's any way this deck wants 15 lands. So is this our best 16? Or our best 24? Crash Through is kind of unexciting. I guess it's either that or Defiant Kenra, with the option of we're going to sideboard Enchanter's Defeat a lot. Yeah, okay. I think this is it. Well, I guess there's Graven Abomination too. I just really don't like this card. Maybe sideboard if my opponent's got a lot of graveyard synergy, but 3-1 for 3 just seems pretty, like, that's almost unplayable, I think. Okay, but we're gonna bring in one of either the Grasping Dunes or the Cradle of the Accursed, I think. We do need double red eventually. We're close to all red. We didn't get that much white. I don't, even though these cycle away, and I do like that, that's a nice, powerful effect. I worry that we're going to really want to go 2-drop basically always, and then either 2-drop on turn 3, there's just a decent chance of 2-drop on turn 3 when we can sneak them in. But then on turn 4, we're probably going to play 2 other 2-drops. This is just going to be a cost sometimes. The fact that it cycles away is good late game, but I'd just rather run fewer lands. I mean, we could run both and just run 17 lands. I think that'd be okay too, because we can cycle these later. But that also is a little bit slower of a play. These are just slower cards, and this deck I don't think wants to be as slow. Which would you rather? Grasping Dunes for -1/-1 or Random Zombie? I think we'd rather have the Dunes, honestly. I think it's kind of close, but the fact that this just randomly kills some things that we care about I think is better. Let's play 8 Grasping Dunes. Let's add our lands here. Deck wants 11-4. I don't think that's correct. We do 9-6. It's still a little bit tight on playing with Catcher's Avenger. But we do want to play 2 red things a lot of the time on turn 4. Or something costing double red. We want 7-8. We do really want red, but ideally we'd have both, right? We could take out the Grasping Dunes and run 9-7. I think we're going to do 9-6. Crash Through lets us cycle. We have Inferno Jet that cycles, so I guess that doesn't require red. But I think we're almost always going to have something to do on turn 2 that costs red at least, and if we have tons of planes, that makes it less likely. Okay, I think this deck looks sweet. I don't really know how aggressive the form will end up being, so maybe this sort of deck just isn't that great, but we have tons of 2-drops. We have, how many 2-drops? Like, let's see, 5, 10, like 13? Why, I guess I can't count, there's like 12 overall, so 11. I can't count. But still, 11 2-drops is a lot of 2-drops. We have some reasonable value. I guess Solitary Camel loses some if we don't have our desert, but I guess Grasping Dunes counts. And this is okay, even if you don't have it. It's just a 3-drop. Yeah, I think we've got some decent late game. Let's try and run over some fools here. I will see you guys for match 1.